Oh my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well as a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting onto 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by ReGen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Nexus Gaming Series fans from all around the country and Canada, welcome to twitch.tv/MurdaRG, and welcome to the Division C East playoffs. Here tonight, we're in the quarterfinals. We got ReGen Red up against Winky Face, number 2 versus number 7. Coming into tonight's matchup, ReGen Red on a 10-match win streak. They haven't lost a set since their week 1 matchup against the number 1 seed Found Vikings here in these Division C East playoffs. Winky Face enter 13-13 map record. 7th seed have to go up against ReGen Red tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, super excited for this matchup and hope that all of you guys here are ready to go with me tonight. I want to say a quick shout out to some of these follows that have come in today. Paraloot, Keeks, Cuban Missile, Arrow with the resub 4 months in a row, and just there you saw Slexia dropping her customary 69 bits, which should signify that there's a match about to start here. Looking at our chat in this lobby, and I have a ready from ReGen Red, waiting to hear from Winky Face before we get going, but I can't tell you a few more things before we get started. Our map bans tonight: ReGen Red banned away Towers of Doom, Winky Face banned away Alterac Pass, which has been their regular go-to ban here throughout the season. And here we go, Volskaya Foundry has been chosen as our map number 1. This is the selection of ReGen Red. So Winky Face will be first to ban here. B-Train, he's got the crown on tonight. You know him, you've seen him around NGS this season. Casting Div S as well. One of the newest casters here for NGS. But you got to remember, he's also a player. So maybe you guys are here cheering for B-Train. Let me hear some of those shout outs from you guys in chat if you're here supporting B-Train and Winky Face tonight. 20 seconds for them in their first ban. And this will really set the tempo for tonight. See where these teams want to look with the first half bans, because so many teams are banning away those power play tanks. Diablo and Nubarak, you've seen a lot of Maiev, Zeratul, and Ana bans throughout this season as well. But here's a tank that's been played extensively by Arrow throughout the season. Johanna has been scouted by Winky Face and will be their first ban here on map number 1, Volskaya Foundry. ReGen Red responds with a Nubarak ban, which will start limiting this tank pool. Back over now to our Winky Face friends, and you know, I'm wondering if they're wanting to continue banning away these tanks, completely choke out Arrow for ReGen Red, who may be one of the players that they want to target tonight. We'll find out here with this ban right now. It's actually going to be Kael'thas banned away by Winky Face, and you know, I'm wondering. I haven't seen much Kael'thas this season from ReGen Red. I don't know if this is a scout on a new player who's joined tonight. We got Murder, a brand new player here for ReGen Red. She just joined the squad right before that roster deadline, making her first appearance here in the playoffs for ReGen Red, which, you know, kind of a scary prospect for any player to come in cold off the bench without too much time practicing with a team and make it happen in the playoffs. So there's quite the storyline there with the DPS player for ReGen Red tonight, Murder. Keep your eyes on her. But now we're 5 seconds away from our first pick here. Winky Face on the clock. They're going to grab a support early. And this is Stukov. All right, so a little curious, taking Stukov early. Valkymer in chat says, "Is the whole of ReGen required to use their prime subs on you? They do seem wildly devoted." I don't know if they're required to, as we see Junkrat and Ana picked here by ReGen Red. Certainly not required, but I appreciate it. So I appreciate all you guys who hang out and want to watch some HOTS. So again, thanks for being here tonight, Valkymer. Winky Face back on the clock. They're going to go with this Tyrael, which we did see late in the season come out from Genzers. They're going to rely on him here to pull out Tyrael in game number 1. They're going to pair it up with Li Ming as one of their main sources of damage. So really potentially scary picks here. We'll see what else they have in the tank to go with it. But so far, Stukov, Tyrael, Li Ming for Winky Face. ReGen Red on their band right now, holding on to a Junkrat and Ana for themselves. They're going to ban away Chen. So, if you're wondering why Chen is being banned, you obviously don't know much about B-Train. They were talking a bit in the pregame lobby. B-Train said, "Please, FFS, don't ban Chen." And, yep, there you go. Chen has been banned out here in game number 1. Final ban now. Winky Face on this clock. They're going to take away the Arthas. This is actually a really smart ban. I think Arthas has plenty of ways to help shut down a Tyrael who wants to be in your face and throw out those auto attacks, which are pretty powerful in their own right for a bruiser. The Arthas being banned away might open up a few other heroes here for Winky Face, but in response will be double Warrior, 1 Bruiser, 1 Tank, Leoric, and ETC for ReGen Red. That'll set up Shui in the solo lane. Now we know finally what the tank's going to be for ReGen Red. It's ETC, the cow. A few different interrupts here for that mosh pit already with the Li Ming. You have the Wave of 4. Stukov can silence it. I believe Tyrael can Judgment or Eldruins. I don't know if Eldruins interrupts it, though. I bet you it doesn't. It probably just displaces ETC. Either way, here's B-Train picking up Maiev late in the draft. You see what happens when you ban away a Chen. It leaves open a power hero like Maiev. Will this be the price to pay for worrying about the Panda? Maiev selected here, and a very powerful pick, especially late in the draft like this. Final pick coming up for ReGen Red. They need a damage hero for their brand new player Murder, and they're gonna put her on Orphea. So now, Chad, you've seen these drafts. I can't ask a co-caster. I don't have one with me tonight, so I gotta ask you guys. And you know, I like to ask you guys anyway. Tell me, hashtag RGR or hashtag Winky Face. Tell me who's gonna win game number 1. Your votes are what really matters here. Nothing else matters. It's just the votes. Orphea, last pick. Is that enough to help get through this frontline Tyrael Blaze? Will Maiev be a pest? And will Li Ming be able to find a reset on a few of these squishy heroes? I mean, Ana, Orphea, Junkrat, all can be burst down by something like a Li Ming, especially if B-Train can pull someone in, lock them home with that Umbral Bind or even the Warden's Cage. Game number 1's coming up. Volskaya Foundry, Division C East, quarterfinals. ReGen Red and Winky Face. Here we go. Game number 1, and over on the left-hand side, coming out of base first, is the captain for ReGen Red, Psychic. He's going to be on Ana tonight. Murder, she's the newest player to this ReGen Red roster. She's on Orphea. Zolkin playing the Junkrat. We got Arrow on the ETC, and in the solo lane tonight will be Shui on the Leoric. Ladies and gentlemen, ReGen Red. Over on the right-hand side, we got Winky Face, led now by Brickhouse on the Li Ming. Genzers on Tyrael. VZ playing the Stukov. You know him as the Rap God. It's B-Train, 704 on Maiev, and in the solo lane will be Full Mango on the Ballistic Blaze, looking sharp there. Even riding on the Derpa. Checking out mid with our level 1 talents up on the screen. Gonna give you that God view here throughout game number 1. It will be the Nishas from Maev. So a little bit extra damage in some of these team fights if she can whip out those fan of knives. Here's going to be one of those Spirit of Vengeances forward, but not going to hit the portal in. Is B-Train. An early clear going to favor Winky Face as they're already making their rotation up to the top lane, where Junkrat's all by himself, drops his concussion just to make sure he can get back to his wall to safety. Arrow's actually going to see Tyrael here take a power slide. Still has the face melt, uses it, but Tyrael with that Eldruins will send him back to his team. Genzer surviving with about 60% health. And will be recouped there by VZ on Stukov. The power slide connecting on Tyrael again. Not enough follow-up yet from ReGen Red as they're leaving the Junkrat so far in the top lane by himself, making sure he's getting the clear. Down in the bottom, it's Shweek, who's been a dominant force here in Division C East. Potentially in trouble now with Tyrael making this rotation through some of these lanes. Actually didn't make the final move forward was Genzer's. And Shwee's going to be able to back on up safely. Thought maybe that was an opportunity for Genzer's to get in there, but it would have required Maev and Stukov to leave that camp. But now here's an invade. Genzer's being aggressive. Murder and Recycling all by themselves. Arrow's trying to walk down, but he's cut off by Maev. Now with Leoric and ETC here, Winky Face starting to back out, but Shwee's not going to let him go. He's applying those slows, and on the backside, the camp has been cleared and now capped by ReGen Red. Turret picked up by Orphea. Checking out these levels, almost at level 4 of both our squads. Very tight on the XP, but ReGen Red making the mark slightly ahead of their counterparts here. Top lane Junkrat still doing his thing by himself. And now that he has Taste for Explosions at level 4, wondering if he's going to switch up the game plan and try to get into where the enemy heroes are at just to start stacking this quest. Here's Arrow with another power slide forward, but again, no follow-up ready from ReGen Red. And there we go, control point A will be active just 30 seconds away. I want to peek in one more time here on our bottom lane where, again, look at the mana bar for Leoric. Very healthy. Blaze looking at about 20% mana. Control point A starting up here soon. ReGen Red and Winky Face both opting to go for these siege camps on opposite sides of the map. Junkrat finishing up the clear in the top lane. He's going to join his team here. And here's as though Li Ming also joining Winky Face on the right-hand side of the map. And here we go, control point A. Standing on it first is Tyrael, and surprisingly so from ETC, not willing to walk forward onto the point. As now I see the support camp being started up here by Winky Face, and no one from ReGen Red any the wiser. They're not checking it out, and that's going to be a support camp picked up for free by B-Train and the whole crew of Winky. 23% for the red team. Channel currently in favor of our blue team, ReGen Red. They're making that 23 mark now, so they find themselves in the lead for the time being. Still holding on to a turret is Orphea. Biotic Emitter and turret in control for Winky Face for the time being. Down bottom, it's Shwee trying to get a little extra clear. Both teams appear to be trying to find the level 7 talents as Tyrael's moving on to the point. There is a concussion mine on the backside, as well as one of these other traps here on this other entry point from Zulkin. So trying to keep complete control over control point A is ReGen Red. Now sitting at 85%. Winky Face is going to have to start making a move. There's the Eldruins on the ground, warping forwards. Genzer's power slide quickly from Arrow. And the damage starting to come out. Concussion Mine going to knock a few back. Here's the Umbral Bind from B-Train, only getting ETC. Finally, that Biotic Emitter drops. As the heals are coming through from Stukov. No one's really taking too much damage from ReGen Red yet as the power slide hits on Genzer's. Tyrael's very low. Had that health healing reduction as well applied from Ana with the grenade as Murder now in trouble, but she's gonna get that kill. Might pay for it here as Tyrael's exploding. And it will be a 1-for-1 Tyrael for Orphea. And no resets connected after that first kill by Li Ming. So we'll be able to reset is ReGen Red. Now moving back as well. Looks like Full Mango might be taking a step back. Level 7 talents on your screen. Forgot to show you those. As Tyrael has respawned. Orphea respawning. We have a turret on the ground here. Excuse me, for Winky Face. And it looks like Arrow's willing to wait it out. They're going to try to get another turret picked up here with Zulkin and Recyclic Murder going to show up as well. On the opposite side, Winky Face doing the same. B-Train getting his hands on another purple gun. Now here we go, another power slide forward from Arrow, trying to find Tyrael, but he drops his Eldruins behind. That first turret has expired as Arrow's in this point. Showing up now is Shui, one turret down from Winky Face. But ReGen Red also dropping theirs in one of these oil slicks, so taking some damage from Blaze's Gingers. He's now at 50% health. Arrow's the one in trouble though. ETC in a silence, trying to walk his way out as Tyrael's the first to fall in the fight. Not going to get any trait value as Shui's so low, but he doesn't fall. ReGen Red trying to desperately finish this off with a power slide from ETC as Full Mango might be next to this concussion mine. He is, but he doesn't get killed yet. Finally, Orphea gets it done with Junkrat. And a double kill there on the back end for ReGen Red, now up 4-1 in kills, all 4 belonging to Zulkin. As the first protectors on the field, and ReGen Red are approaching level 10. They got what appears to be a full level lead right now with ETC and Orphea inside this protector, sieging forward onto this mid wall. These towers might be enough to put them at that level 10 mark. We'll see what this protector wants to do. And there you go, level 10 has been secured, and Tyrael's by himself in this top lane. And see if this root can connect. They're not going to throw that glove out. I'm trying to read chat. It says, read Slexia's comment. Did she leave a comment? I must have missed something. Hashtag both? Okay, that's the only one I see she said. Spirit of Vengeance forward. B-Train not going to warp it in. Still trying to deal with this protector. 14 seconds, 39% health. They're going to try to get this well. Probably back up after that. Yeah, there they go. 8 seconds now, 15% health. Orphea's inside of here, and ETC has to protect her. And that should be just enough space created to get ReGen Red out of there with a full level lead. But level 10 will be here right now for Winky Face. Orphea still holding on to her level 10 pick. We don't know if it's that Crushing Jaws or the Endless Feast. We do see Warden's Cage, Sanctification. We got Swipes, Combustion, and Wave of Force. So they're going to try to make the plays off of B-Train here with that Warden's Cage. They're going to rely on all the other heroics to come inside of it. There's a sleep into the power slide mosh pit, but quickly getting that Sanctification down was Tyrael, keeping his team alive. Shui's on this backside with Leoric, 5 seconds away from his Entomb. But Shui's not going to stay with the team. Oh wait, he's walking back up. Now he has a spot. He's going to throw it down. Here it comes. Shui, question mark. There it is. Connects on 2. They're going to find Stukov. Orphea getting their first kill of the game. 5-1 now for ReGen Red. They're looking at a support camp wide open as they're starting to create a wide open XP lead here. 8.5 through on Volskaya Foundry. They get themselves their first biotic emitter of the game. They weren't able to secure that first one, which went over to Winky Face before control point A. Now ReGen Red with item control for the first time in the game. Or will they? B-Train picking up another turret on the right-hand side of the map. Looks like ReGen Red will have enough room to pick up theirs as well, as Shui's gonna get back to business in this bottom lane up against Full Mango. A lane that Leoric has been dominating throughout. And the mana consumption, really another story too, as Blaze below 20% health the past couple, or excuse me, 20% mana the past couple times we've peaked down there in the bottom lane, as now level 13s are here for ReGen Red. We did finally see it will be Crushing Jaws from Orphea. Trying to combo up. They do have that nano boost from Ana, so maybe trying to get just a little bit extra ability damage out with Orphea here. Still 13-12. If ReGen Red wants a fight, now's not a terrible time for it. They have their siege camp pushing in the top lane. Arrow's trying to shark around the support camp. But no one from Winky Face falling for it yet, except B-Train. He's walking forward, but Arrow didn't quite see it. He's actually going to check another bush. B-Train very risky with those rotations. But he's going to live. He's going to be all right. Arrow's going to rotate up, maybe trying to find something here. He does have this mosh pit, but he knows there's a lot of different ways to interrupt it, so he hasn't used it yet. Tyrael about to walk in his bush. Gingers is here. Face melt. ETC going to walk on out. Waiting for Shui to show up. All 10 heroics are online, as well as level 13 talents for Winky Face. I got those on your screen before we get going here on control point B. ReGen Red on the point to start it off. They got the channel started in favor of the blue side. Here's Shui out front trying to clear up some of these minions on Leoric, but now getting pulled back by Maiev and dropped to 50% health. Might be in a little bit of trouble, but he got great healing there from Ana. And they're finding a lot of damage now on top of Tyrael, who has to drop that Sanctification early. Blaze so low on mana, and I don't think he can get out of here. If that Entomb gets ripped, it's actually gonna miss. Ooh, Shui whiffing on the Entomb there, so no kills yet for ReGen Red, but they have a few more tools in the belt. We'll see if Arrow wants to whip out this mosh pit, but you can tell he's just trying to be as patient as he can be here, knowing that they have this Stukov, knowing they got the Tyrael. And still that wave of force on Li-Ming that's sitting here on Brick House. But 80%'s the channel, and Winky Face has got to make a move. They're back to full strength. They're moving in. Tyrael on the front line. One turret's been dropped already, but there's the biotic emitter. Arrow finding himself inside that Warden's cage, but no one's dead yet. Arrow's still trying to walk away, but the biotic emitter getting way too much value as the combustion finally comes out. Mosh pit hits on 3 and the crushing jaws. Get a double kill for Orphea. Could be more on this back end as Gender's low, B-Train's low, Brickhouse is low. Could be the quad, and it is. ReGen Red picking up 4 more kills to add to the 5 they already had. Check it out, 5 for Junkrat, 3 now for Orphea, 1 for Ana. And this is their second objective of the game. They're going to get a little bit of clear here on mid. Might leave Ana and Junkrat to finish off that fort as ETC and Orphea inside this protector are rotating down to the bottom lane. Level 16s here for ReGen Red. And you even got Leoric up top. Triple soak right now for ReGen as they're pushing through this bottom fort wall. Turrets down, well next in sight for the protector. Junkrat about to finish off mid, but it's going to need one more grenade launcher. There it goes. And he does get it. Zulkin destroying that mid fort. Now back down bottom. Genter's Brickhouse and VZ showing up, trying to save this bottom fort, but it will fall here to the hands of this protector. Still 30 seconds left. Leoric's going to fall up top. T-Tor is on that as Shui was looking to finish off that top fort. Second kill of the game for Winky Face. As Red is staying in this bottom lane. I don't know why I want to call them Retro sometimes. It's the Re and the Re at the start of both names that gets me. We do see over here at level 13, Holy Ground picked up by Tyrael. Now support camp. ReGen Red with the level 16 lead. They're trying to move right on it. Now ticking over to level 17 they are. Shui's still dead for another couple seconds, but Leoric respawning right on top of his team here to help defend with the support camp. They do get it. Arrow's going to pick up that biotic emitter. As Winky Face just grabbed another fortification camp turret there. B-Train holding on to it yet again. Now it's Junkrat. Let's looking at some of these questing talents. Maybe an invade actually. We'll hold off as level 16 is here for Winky Face. B-Train trying to move in. Nice vault to the Warden. Protecting himself against that power slide. He's still alive. Great silence here by Stukov as the Riptire's coming in. Chasing down 4. Hits on the 5 heroes. Shui's still in here trying to slow him down. Sanctification finally drops by Tyrael as the combustion comes out. Hits on the... No! It's interrupted as B-Train's low. He has to evacuate. Shui trying to Wraith walk forward. The slow applied on Blaze, but I think Blaze can get out of here. Everyone else from ReGen Red way too slow to catch up. New York still trying to push in. Umbrobind pulling New York even closer as the slow still coming out. Zulkin's now here. Does he have a concussion mine to knock anyone back? He's gonna try for it. Moshpit comes out, doesn't do enough to anything. Mango does finally get concussion back, but still alive is Blaze, and the only one to fall will end up being Leoric. Winky Face with quite the defense as they're retreating to their wall, and Shui will be the only casualty in the fight. No items had to be used from either side from what I can tell. Scratch that, B-Train did use his turret. ReGen Red still hold on to a biotic emitter, still hold on to a turret of their own, as they're now starting to rotate around at some of these camps. Appears as though Psychic and Murder are going to hold this as long as humanly possible. Arrow doing a nice job on these vents, making sure no one's playing secrets on them. Game sounds are high. Okay. Game sounds are going down. Hopefully that fixes it.
수호자가 거의 준비됐다. 내가 수호자를 작동시키면
Because honestly, if that doesn't fix it, nothing will. ReGen Red still holding on to their siege camp here.
파랑 팀이 요새를 파괴했다.
Control point C active 10 seconds. ReGen Red really far away from the point. You see them holding on to that camp as long as they could, but the price to pay might be a little bit of extra time given over to Winky Face. They're still not at level 20. I know they want to try to find it, but being that full level away, it's going to be a bit of a risk to give up percentage on the point, so they're actually going to make their way down. Finally, they walk in, get on the point. But here comes Winky Face with another turret in hand, and maybe their last chance before level 20. But they got to do it against a biotic emitter and a turret of ReGen Reds. They're actually, ooh, nice smart play here. Moving on to the enemy camp. And Shwee's moving on it? He is on it. Leoric maybe losing his life here. Sanctification's been used by Tyrael. Might be a death trap, but the crushing jaws coming out from Orphea. A lot of damage. No one yet has fallen until Blaze goes down. Genzer's is next. A double kill on both sides. Repsychic getting out of Leoric's explosion. And with the Leoric trait, him being up a little bit sooner than some of these other heroes, especially now seeing Li Ming having to respond to the push that's going on up top. Let me show you that. Siege camp here. And once Li Ming shows, ReGen Red's going to move right back on this point. And especially with their level 20 talents, which are here. V-Train now being dismounted. Shadow of Vengeance by Ev Safe. Fantastic hero, fantastic kit. Can be very aggressive and can be very safe. You see right there, Maiev able to be a nuisance on the point without much risk to her health bar. Gen Red with a free channel right now. Leoric's back, and you see what he's doing with Junkrat. They're pushing forward, trying to get whatever they can onto this wall. Catapults here as well. Here comes Winky Face finally responding in this bottom lane. And the retreats here. Oh, no dismount there too. Oh, does get dismounted by the minions, however. There's Eldruin. But too late to the party is Winky Face. ReGen Red gonna pick up their third protector of the game. Still holding on to all 6 structures. They're ready to start bashing onto some keeps. And once again, it will be ETC and Orphea inside this protector as they're moving forward. Smashing face onto this bottom keep wall. Turrets are down. Next site will be this well, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, wow. The Entomb gonna whiff, and that's the big one. The Silencing Tomb, the Buried Alive, not gonna do anything there as Blaze gets the full force of the Protector to his face. The glove, the laser, and the minigun. A quick kill. No combustion gonna be able to be used here as Leoric slowing everyone walking into their face. Should have another Q here as the biotic emitters drop, but instantly destroyed, getting 0 value as the Protector's now onto this core. 45 seconds left, 40% health. ReGen Red trying to close out game number 1. Umbral Bind here pulling 3 inside this Warden's cage. A lot of damage with the Sanctification coming out, but no one fallen yet except Repsychic. Repsychic's down, Protector's almost down as well. Leoric has fallen, and now it's just up to Orphea and Junkrat, and they will actually be able to finish it off. So just 19 minutes and 35 seconds here. ReGen Red able to take all 3 objectives and map number 1. They got a lead in a best-of-3 series, and it's the playoffs. So Winky Face now with their backs against the rope will be left with a decision for first pick or map pick here as we go into our break leading into game number 2. I want to make sure you guys can see these talents before we get going. Level 20, we did see that death metal coming out from ETC. Didn't end up falling at the end. He was inside the Protector. But that's it. 13-7, the final kill count. ReGen Red up 1-0. All right, we're back. Thank you for patiently waiting during our break. I'm here in our lobby. Everyone is here. I gave them a couple extra minutes there to use for strategy here. It is the playoffs. I want to make sure everyone has enough time between rounds to talk it over with their squad, see if they want to change anything up heading into game number 2. And I'm starting to get some readies here from our captains. ReGen Red's ready to go. Waiting to hear back from Winky Face. But what a game number 1 it was. The votes came in early from you guys, and it was a lot of votes for ReGen Red. So chat was right in game number 1. We'll see if you can be right in game number 2 as well. We're going to be heading into Sky Temple. I think this was the map selection of ReGen Red. Yeah, it was. Winky Face can be first to ban here. Their second time banning and picking first here. They also picked first on Volskaya Foundry. Second map selected tonight by ReGen Red, who had banned out Towers of Doom. Alterac Pass was banned out by Winky Face. Here we find ourselves on Sky Temple for game number 2. A map that doesn't get too much play, but there are a few teams, and maybe ReGen Red's one of them, that just like going to this map. I feel like they've been starting to look at it more often later in the season here. 10 seconds till our first ban. B-Train with that crown once again for Winky Face, who are potentially in their final game of this season. They need to win here on Sky Temple if they want to keep it alive. They're going to go back to this ban of Johanna, just as they did in game number 1. See if a Nubarak remains the focus for ReGen Red. That was their selection here in the slot over on Volskaya Foundry. Also banning away the Tyrande for ReGen Red in game number 1. And here we go. It will be a Nubarak. Took the full clock there. Maybe making sure they have the rest of their draft ready to go. Back on the clock with Winky Face. They banned out Kael'thas in this slot, game number 1. Sky Temple, a map that perhaps Kael'thas gets some value on some of those temples, but not nearly as much. You have a raid coming in from Joe Zombie 93. Appreciate that. 6 viewers joining. Welcome to the Division C East quarterfinals between ReGen Red and Winky Face, as we do have that Kael'thas ban coming in once again from Winky Face in that second slot. ReGen Red back on the clock now. They used a ban here on Tyrande in game number 1. Do they want to leave that Maiev open again? You know, it appeared as though B-Train was a bit of a nuisance there with the detected. I want to say thank you for that follow, Copper Dark. This time it will be Tyrael banned away, and I actually like that. The Sanctification on the boss is such a great way to make sure you can get it. You saw a couple times there around the ReGen Red fortification camp that Winky Face was trying to invade with that Tyrael, with that Sanctification. Didn't get exactly what they wanted out of it, but they played it aggressive and they played it well. Junkrat going to be stolen away, so Zulkin not going to be able to get back on the Aussie. Brickhouse going to pick him up. Now Red's on the clock. They're 1-2 picks, 10 seconds away for them, and they started off with their tank and without their tank in game number 1, but now that they saw where Winky Face was going with their tank play in game number 1 with that Blaze, with that Tyrael, oh boy. Oh boy. All right, this is something from ReGen Red. They're putting their support player on Medivh to start off this draft. I am scratching my head right now, wondering what the heck they're trying to do here in the playoffs. We're going to find out. I haven't seen them play Medivh all season long. That's why I'm curious. I'm not saying Medivh's a horrible pick, but we haven't seen it out of ReGen Red yet. Here's a Tyrande and Muradin picked up for VZ and Genzers. Tyrande, who drew a ban in game number 1, not looked at here in game number 2 as a ban by ReGen Red, leaving it open for VZ to hop on instead of that Stukov that they played in game number 1. ReGen Red trying to figure out what they can ban out here at their final ban, and you know, seeing the pretty good damage, a safe damage, seeing the support in a tank, they're just getting rid of Chen again, making sure B-Train can't get on the hero at all. But does that leave open the Maiev again? I think still, and in this comp, maybe even better with the Junkrat having that Maiev. On a final ban here by Winky Face, and we're over to ReGen Red looking at their 3-4 picks right now to pair with their Medivh and Jaina. Already have a lot of mage damage. You need a solo laner, a tank, and something. A support, I guess. I don't think they get the job done with just the Medivh for Repsychic. ETC Dahaka. So Shui gonna stay split out. Try to get some value. Primal Zerg, can he get it done? I've been digging the new Dark Swarm build, if you guys at home haven't been trying it. I've had a lot of fun with it, especially up against some tanky front lines. It can be an armor shredder once you get the talent, I think at 16. Or is it 13? No, it's 13. Abathur, Zeratul, final 2 picks. They're going to get a Void Prison. They're going to get a clone. But what are they doing with the Void Prison? Is it even Void Prison? Uther, final pick. All right. Chat, once again, you guys have to be the judge, the jury, and the executioners tonight. Let me know with your votes in chat. Hashtag RGR or hashtag wink those faces. Who's going to win game number 2? We saw game number 1 go over to ReGen Red. But this is a way different look than we've seen all season from ReGen Red. Pulling out an Uther and a Medivh. Repsychic will swap over to play the Uther. They're going to put Zulkin on the Medivh. But chat, you guys still have to vote. You got to let me know. I can't decide this one. You know I'm biased. How about this? I'm rooting for the team in red. LOL. All of you are rooting for the red team tonight, whether you know it or not. Sky Temple game number 2, the Division C East quarterfinals between ReGen Red and Winky Face here in the NGS Season 6. And it's been a fantastic season, especially here in Division C East, which has been highly contested the entire time. We're finally here in the culmination, the playoffs. And it's game number 2, ReGen Red on the left-hand side, arrow out front on ETC, Repsychic playing Uther. Murder, she's on Jaina. Up in the sky will be Zulkin on Medivh. And playing the solo lane, as always, this time on the Dino, it's Shui, ladies and gentlemen, ReGen Red. And over on the right-hand side, we got Winky Face. Then here by B-Train on Zulkin, or on Zeratul. I just said Zulkin's name on the other side. B-Train on Zeratul, I swear to God. VZ on Tyrande, Brickhouse playing Junkrat, full Mango on the Slug, and Genzer's playing Muradin. Ladies and gents, make some noise for Winky Face. We're hanging out at mid. ReGen Red gonna pick up Vision, make their way back over here. Maybe we'll see another little spray display as we did in game number 1. Arrow's going to walk into the bush, finding Muradin. He's going to smash him a few times with his axe as Genzer's scoots on back and respects the wave clear that's on the side of ReGen Red with this Jaina right now, who's going to be effective with those blizzards. They got Medivh split down bottom for the time being up against Zeratul. This is B-Train down here getting that hat from Abathur. And of course Dahaka playing the solo lane up top. He's only against that Abathur so far. He got that wave of soak, but looks like Abathur is able to soak it up with his body as well. Here's B-Train trying to harass onto Dahaka with that hat. But with ReGen Red showing back up here to mid, Dahaka gonna crawl his Dino Paws all the way back up top. But here comes Zeratul, maybe fishing for something? No. Just wants the XP in lane. You can see ReGen Red in the top corner of your screen there, working on the first siege camp of the game. Combo with Jaina and Uther. And looks like no contest coming out from Winky Face. So that'll be the first camp picked up by ReGen Red. They're actually going to go ahead and scout forward through the bushes Uther and see no one's on this enemy siege camp. So they're going to get started. Knowing their opponents have this Abathur, they're trying to play aggressive early, but Muradin's going to walk right by here. But he doesn't scout it. Genzer's not checking the siege camp. Jaina and Uther are going to be alive for now, but here comes Tyrande, going to get vision. But this thing's almost dead. Uther's standing on top of it. There's going to be a lunar flare, but a little too late. ReGen Red's going to start making the retreat out. There's the Blizzard Dwarf toss out by Muradin. Dahaka going to brush stalk down. And maybe a bit of a misplay that time by Dahaka. A bit of a miscue from the communications for ReGen Red, but they were, however, able to take both of the siege camps in the bottom lane. Not getting a tremendous amount of damage onto any of these structures. The towers you see still sitting pretty sturdy, and this fort as well. Sitting about 90% health, we'll say. Medivh still staying down bottom and checking in on his Arcane Rift at 9 stacks. We have our temples being talked about right now in Korean, if you guys are noticing the Korean sound pack. OP, OP. Vision being traded back and forth there by Dahaka and Zeratul, but I think on this point, Dahaka should have a better hand. We do see at level 4, he picked up the Hero Stalker. Paired with the Tissue Regen at level 1 is going to give him a tremendous amount of extra regenerative tools inside these team fights. As those temples are now active, it's still Dahaka trying to fend off a Zeratul with an Abathur hat. And it's going to be Muradin onto the point first. Medivh in the sky going to drop on out. Now sitting at 10 stacks on Arcane Rift. There's a portal down on top of Junkrat. Power slide, so good. First blood of the game coming 3 minutes and 20 seconds in for ReGen Red. And they're going to be able to walk onto this point. Dahaka's still up top, but with this rotation coming out from Winky Face, he should see it. He's going to start backing on out. No one from ReGen Red coming to help except Medivh. Here's Zulkin. They might ask for more help. But with this Bruiser camp here, they're going to try to push forward with Dahaka in the lane. Muradin standing inside. They're taking a lot of damage. No tongue yet from Dahaka. Zulkin still here, whiffing that time on his Arcane Rift stacks. And now, portal down. Zeratul in trouble. Doesn't have his blink away. B-Train, ooh, got all the way down to 94 health. He's going to make his way out as ReGen Red finishing up the mid-temple. Working on finishing the top as well. Level 7s here. And they're going to end up with the better exchange. All 10 bonus shots going over to ReGen Red. They get a lot of work done here on this top wall. And a considerable amount of damage onto the mid-fort. They find themselves with a slight XP lead here early, but you just saw flying in before I left that screen. Mule has been thrown down by Abathur, picked up at level 7 just now by Winky Face. And that's going to help out a lot here on Sky Temple, a map where you got to get the value with the objectives, but if you're not getting it outside of the objectives, Abathur is going to be able to heal up almost all of it. There's a tongue connecting from Dahaka. V-Train taking a lot of damage as the Burrow comes out from Shri, trying to keep himself alive, and the Essence to heal himself back up to full. Well Tap has to be used by Zeratul just to get back in this lane. 12 stacks on Prog Rock so far for ETC, who's remaining in this top lane. Make it 13 with that globe. Mid ReGen Red here with 3 of their heroes, and you want to show Winky Face working on their Bruiser camp for the first time in the game. Junkrat and Tyrande here should be able to get that without any contest, as ReGen Red checking out this camp and seeing no one's here. And they should get more information now that Bruiser camp's picked up. They're going to try to tank this down as fast as they can with this Blizzard. With all this Jaina damage coming out with the Frost Pulse, and they will be able to get it. Shui still holding that push as ETC showing up. Had to take the long walk down with his cow. And that's going to be it. ReGen Red getting the camp. Now looking at Zeratul. B-Train here has the blink. But there's going to be a stun from Uther, and inside the Blizzard. Enough to finish Zeratul off. Second kill of the game, and that's a bad time for that. Temple active in 20 seconds. As Dahaka just brush stalked up to the top lane. Won't be able to show up to this fight. And if level 10 comes here soon enough for Abathur, that could be a clone in your face. Or hey, it could be Ultimate Evolution. Or it could be our Monstrosity. You never know. This is Sky Temple. But it will be first to 10 for ReGen Red. And so far, we do see the isolation. We got the Leyline Seal. Mosh Pit. Divine Storm is the play from Uther, and this I love. And also the Ring of Frost. Can they get the lockdown this time with ETC? Struggled in game number 1 was Arrow, but there were so many ways to interrupt it. This time it's really just Concussion Mine. You got the Stormbolt from Muradin. Potentially 2 Stormbolts if you get the combo with the Abathur clone. That's going to be it. Temple, number 3, going in favor of ReGen Red. But you see the power of the Mule. Mid-fort still surviving. Did get through the bottom fort, but without that Mule, that mid-fort's down as well. So value already seen here by Abathur. As he's going to continue dropping those Mules throughout the game. We'll see if they can finish this off or if Abathur will be able to heal it back up. Dahaka's still up top where he's been during that entire objective. Never had to rotate down, and his brush stock should be ready to go at this point. He's going to land a drag there onto B-Train. He's going to take half of his health. And these minions not giving up either. Going to have to use another well tap playing up against Dahaka, but here's a Mosh Pit Blizzard on top of Tyrande. Fizi very low, healing herself, but Taranda's going to fall. 3rd kill of the game for ReGen Red. That time a great Mosh Pit from ETC as the Leyline Seal going to whiff that time. Another power slide going to help ReGen Red uses Portal just to get a little bit of spacing to hop on some mounts and get out of here. Jaina going to be the last to retreat on out as you see level 13 starting to approach a full level lead for ReGen Red right now. Shui still remaining up top, getting that XP, and I want to show you how they've been doing. Right now it's Dahaka leading all heroes with 7,707 XP. Abathur sitting at 5,500, a little bit behind his Zerg counterpart. As our boss is on the map, Muradin walking by, making sure no one's here. Still no 13s for ReGen Red. Medivh staying in the sky, keeping vision. And ETC also holding that mid-bush. And something Arrow's been doing so well tonight, also on Volskaya Foundry, holding on to the vision control in the vents and the bushes. And making sure his team's always going to be safe and know all the information they need if they need to make those retreats or not. Another camp pickup for ReGen Red, and that's going to be their 4th or 5th siege camp of the game. They've just been dominating this bottom lane. Finally a camp picked up in the bottom lane for Winky Face as well. The level 13's here for ReGen Red, and these temples are active. Here goes Uther onto the bottom point. Dahaka picking up vision, and we'll see if he wants to move on to this top point as well, as that mid-fort took the damage to fall before. It's not able to be muled up. Up top now, under attack, the mule is there. But over time, this temple will be able to destroy it. Shots coming in from the bottom temple all the way up top. We'll eat up a few extra shots, but fort finally falls. Catapult pressure will be mounting in the top lane. In fact, we'll be mounting in all 3 lanes here, as Winky Face is yet to find a fort in either game 1 or here in game 2. ReGen Red dominating so far. 3-0 here on Sky Temple, as your opponents are still sitting at level 12, almost at 13. Here's Zeratul maybe in trouble, as I didn't even see how Abathur fell. I guess that was Zolkin making a play on Medivh. You see him in the sky right now. Must have been a portal in, as now ReGen Red going to play aggressive with this power play situation. 15 seconds till Abathur's back. They're going to try to get some damage onto this bottom keep wall, but now they're going to back it out. Instead, Dahaka wants to get the bonus shots on the temple, which isn't a horrible play in and of itself, but of course Mule might be able to heal some of this up. We'll see what kind of value it ends up getting. Boss, heroes around the boss. ETC getting revealed near the boss, but no one making the play onto the boss as those bonus shots finish up. Shui's going to be safe on Dahaka, rotating up to the top. ReGen Red seeking level 16 now before their next fight. 35 stacks on Medivh, and Zolkin's got to start playing safe now at 36, make it 37. Might be able to finish here in just a few seconds. 38 is getting storm bolted now. Still alive, 39. And Medivh gets his Arcane Rift done in exactly 11 minutes in. Now will be a real threat here. As the power slide comes in, Mosh Pit only hitting 1, but Muradin walking into it as well. There's the Riptide to negate it, but with that Divine Storm, Taranda's going to fall. Zeratul's going to fall. Leyline Seal onto Junkrat, and Vulcan's chasing with the portal down. His whole team's going to show up here, but can they get the slows applied on Brickhouse to be able to not let him get behind that wall? They don't want to chase it. They want the boss instead, taking the surefire play. Here's ReGen Red. Already on it is Dahaka. And this should be a free boss. I don't see Winky Face getting up in time with just an Avatar on the map, along with Junkrat, who's hearthing back to base. ReGen Red's gotten his boss already down below 50% health, sitting at 40 now as respawns are starting to come back out. Zeratul, Murden, and Tyrande back on the map. But it's going to be a little bit too late here. First boss of the game going to be picked up by ReGen Red, and that's going to be pushing into a lane that's already missing its keep wall. Level 16 talents here as well, and they're going to pair it up with a siege camp. So huge threat now in this bottom lane. ReGen Red using the portal there, trying to find Murden, not able to. Boss approaching. 2 temples active in 14 seconds. ReGen Red wants to find the first keep of the game right here, right now. Full strength, both sides. Heroic advantage going to favor Winky Face here as that evolution just came back online. Riptire as well. Avatar in just 3 seconds. And Might of the Nerazine 5 seconds away for Zeratul. Here they come forward. Drag landing. Leyline Seal hitting 3. No mosh pit yet from ETC, but they don't need it. Zeratul just destroyed there. Divine Storm came out on the backside, but ReGen Red with the boss still about 50% health now, setting their sights onto the core. 13 minutes in on Sky Temple, trying to close out the number 7 seed. Great power slide by ETC, negating that Riptire, which might have been the only saving grace left for Winky Face. Genzer's on the backline with his Murden, used all of the HP that Avatar had to offer. ReGen Red trying to finish them off with a mosh pit, and they get the double kill, they get the win, and they get the domination over Winky Face in the Division C East quarterfinals. They'll be moving on next week to play against Almost Legends in the semifinals. And here we go. This is the match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. What a show. What a win. A shutout on Sky Temple for ReGen Red, who looked like the number 2 seed here. They pick up their 11th straight match win on the season and will move on to those semifinals. Here are your talents before I try to lock down an interview with one of these players from ReGen Red. We'll see who we can find. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to hop on in with the full squad. They don't even know I'm coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you ReGen Red. What's up, folks?
Oh, hi.
So,
Hey,
I was going to call one of you guys in, but being a ReGen founder, I figured I'd hop on in your channel. So, congratulations. 2-0 victory, including a shutout on Sky Temple. How you guys feeling right now?
Pretty good, I'd say.
Shaking off the nerves.
So, I want to talk a bit about draft strategy. Game number 1, we saw the final ban come out. It was used against B-Train's request. You ban out the Chen, leaving open the Maiev. Did you guys have any maybe second thoughts about it as you're heading into game number 1 after that draft?
Just me. Everyone else was okay. Only I said, oh god, oh no. Because I'm Ana and Maiev likes to hurt me.
Yeah, I thought it was, obviously B-Train loves his Chen, but a risky ban and ultimately paid off, so can't really knock it too much. But you guys did go with a pretty tried and true comp that you guys have played a lot of. You get the Junkrat for Zul'Kan, you get the Leoric for Shui and the Ana for Rek, and you guys have made your money on those 3 heroes throughout this season. Any words on the comfortability and how much it means to this team?
It's just a ruse to make people think that we're comfortable. Heroes.
I missed the question. I just came back. Zul'Kan here.
Okay, Zul'Kan, go ahead.
You guys did pick up a new player this week, or technically the roster ed was
This was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. But first game getting to play tonight, Murder. How did it feel getting to play with ReGen Red?
It was fun. I mean, I don't know. I play with a lot of these nerds regularly anyway, so it wasn't too different. But no, it was good. It was good. A little nerve-wracking, but...
Yeah, some shoes to fill. Of course, Carve playing that role for a lot of the season. Abishore as well. But we see you pick up the Orphea and the Jaina. And a lot of kills, a lot of damage, and a lot of good team fighting there for ReGen Red. So well done from you.
Thank you.
We move on to game number 2. You guys picked both these maps tonight. Volskaya Foundry, which has been a staple, not just for you guys, but for a lot of teams in Division C East. But game number 2, you bring us to Sky Temple. Any comments on the map, and is this something people gotta be worried of? 10-0 here over Winky Face.
Arrow, why don't you take that one?
Yeah, sure. So Sky Temple's a map that, when I do scouting, just about every single team in Division C East avoids it. And so we said, you know what? If somebody wants to avoid it, let's push on that, push on that wound a little bit. And it's gone well for us. It's a fun place. We like to play it, and we can kind of mess around and try some different strategies like today.
Awesome. So another thing, game number 2, you early pick a Medivh. You put it on Repsychic, and you had me with some heart palpitations for a minute.
I called that, by the way.
You said Murda's probably freaking out?
I said Murda's going to have a heart attack, yep.
Yeah, so I was there. But of course, you pull out the Uther with that last pick, make the swapperoo, and, I felt a little better after that. But talk me a bit through the Medivh pick and how much work has gone into this, because I don't think we've seen it all season long. It looked pretty good. The portal engages with the ETC were on point. You find 10 kills. Not much went wrong there for you guys.
Did we not just try it for the first time on Monday?
Well, I actually gotta give a note to ReGen Retro. They make this comp look easy, and it's something that I kind of aspired to over the season. And I played Medivh in the past, a couple teams actually now, and I was like, let's give it a shot. I want teams to fear us in all aspects. I don't want there to be 2 easy bans. Like, okay, ban Joe, we played ETC this whole season, or this whole series. So yeah. I want it to be a mystery.
And of course, shout out to Brothers in Arms, ReGen Retro for a bit of draft insight, I guess. I don't even really know what you call it. You guys just
inspiration.
Inspiration. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. So next week, big matchup. I think the score in your earlier regular season matchup against Almost Legends was 2-1 in favor of you guys. But
that's correct.
Any early thoughts heading into next week, and anything you're really fearing? Born to Shine, Balalos, that whole crew over there with Almost Legends. What's on your radar right now, and any special training gonna have to go into this week?
Dance party mid lane?
Dance party mid lane sounds like an idea, but
A lot of reps. Let's got to keep working on different maps and make it exciting come game time. I'd like for nobody to know what we're doing.
yeah, I mean, go ahead and ban our comforts. We're comfortable with everyone. Go ahead.
All right, so ReGen Red trying to keep everyone guessing. That appears to be their strategy moving through these Division C East playoffs. Only 4 teams will remain next week, and ReGen Red will be one of them. Before I let you guys go, though, I want to allow you some opportunity for shout-outs. I don't know which one of you wants to do it, but the floor is yours, ReGen Red.
The cupcakes in the chat. That's all I got.
Shout out my brother Nick, who's tuning in, and also my mom, who loves to watch us play Heroes, so she's very excited for tonight.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
Yeah,
Mom.
say hi.
I'll shout out Murder's brother Nick and her mom, who were watching because they like to watch her and him play Heroes.
Shout out
and
to
Tom.
Harvin Abashore cheering for us from the bench. Good lads.
Absolutely. Cotillion, too, I believe, right?
That's Nick.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I learned something, too, today. So that's going to be...
I'll shout out Valk in chat and Valk's mom, because she doesn't watch this, but he likes to tell her about it.
Shout out to our founder Murda.
Oh,
He's a great guy, and we always forget him. So love you, bud.
love you too, bud.
Never heard of him.
All right, congratulations again, ReGen Red. The
Anyone else we missed?
You tell me.
Retro and Blue.
Shout out to ReGen Retro and ReGen Blue.
And Winky
Yeah,
Face,
let's-
honestly, like
Yeah, and Winky Face. And Winky Face.
they had a solid season. Like,
How
let's send that
how many
positive,
B steps do we need to take over B Train?
I don't think games last that long.
Oh, okay.
I don't think games last that long either. All right.
Let's
once again,
let's send that positive vibes over to Regen Blue because they're
Yeah.
coming up now, or
Yeah,
So-
they're
Or
coming
already
up
started?
soon. Starting in about 25 minutes, 11 p.m. local time here on the East Coast. It'll be a 8 o'clock start on the West Coast, I believe. But that's it, guys. Congratulations again.
Go Moonduck and the
on
boys.
win. And best of luck next week. I'm sure I'll be chatting with you guys a bit throughout the week. But congratulations tonight. Job well done.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
All right, Twitch chat. We have finally reached the end of the road. Sad times, but happy times as well because you guys were fantastic tonight. Once again, thanks for the follows. Paraloot, Keeks, Cuban Missile, Copper Dark there at the end. We had a couple hosts, Arrow the Storm, Joe Zombie, and the resub coming out from Arrow the Storm as well. The bits came through from Slexia69 as always. You gotta love it. That's it for tonight, guys. Regen Red on top, 2-0 over Winky Face. We'll see you guys in the Nexus.